Every bass player loves saving money, but the cheapest repair often becomes the most expensive mistake. Small problems can grow into costly repairs when shortcuts replace proper workmanship.
Sounds really nice.
Here are 7 hidden costs of a cheap repair. Number 1. Cheap temptation. Budget has always been one of the biggest challenges for musicians. Unlike major recording studios or touring artists, with dedicated technicians, most bass players pay for repairs from their own pockets. Whether you are a student, a weekend performer, a church musician, or someone who simply enjoys playing at home, an unexpected repair bill rarely comes at the right time. That financial pressure makes the cheapest repair quote incredibly tempting. If one shop offers to fix a noisy output jack for far less than another, it is easy to assume the higher price is unnecessary. The reality is that you are not just paying for a replacement part, you are paying for the knowledge needed to find the real cause of the problem. A crackling signal might appear to be nothing more than a faulty potentiometer, but experienced technicians know it could also be caused by oxidation, damaged solder joints, worn output jacks, shielding problems, or even a failing cable. Replacing the wrong component may hide the symptom without fixing the fault. This is what economists call a false economy. Spending less today can easily lead to much higher costs later. A rushed repair that costs $40 may fail within weeks, forcing you to pay for another diagnosis, more parts, and extra labor. That bargain can quickly become a repair costing $200 or more. Bass players often discover that a proper professional setup improves an inexpensive instrument more than costly upgrades ever could. Saving money is never the problem. The real challenge is knowing when a low price reflects genuine value and when it simply hides expensive compromises.
But most of the things making your cheapo bass sound and hard to play, you can actually fix in just a few minutes with a basic bass setup.
Number 2. Behind pricing. One of the biggest misconceptions about bass repairs is that customers are paying mainly for labor. In reality, a professional repair bill reflects years of experience, careful diagnosis, specialized tools, and the confidence that the job will be done correctly the first time. Take a standard setup as an example. Most repair shops charge between $50 and $100, depending on the instrument and location. While that may seem expensive, a proper setup involves much more than adjusting the truss rod. A technician carefully checks the neck, frets, action, intonation, bridge, nut, pickups, tuning stability, and even humidity, because every adjustment affects another. Professional workshops also invest in precision tools that most players do not own. Straight edges, radius gauges, nut files, soldering stations, measuring equipment, and quality replacement parts all help produce accurate and reliable results instead of guesswork. The same attention to detail applies to electronic repairs. Replacing an output jack can take around 45 minutes when done properly. The process includes inspection, clean soldering, testing the electrical connections, and making sure everything works perfectly before the bass leaves the bench. Skipping even one step can create problems that appear weeks later. Professional pricing also includes something many players overlook: warranty support. Reputable repair shops stand behind their work, giving customers confidence that if a workmanship issue appears, it will be corrected without additional cost. Next is number 3, hidden consequences. The true cost of a poor repair often does not appear until long after the bass has left the workshop. A stripped screw, a rushed solder joint, or low-quality replacement hardware may seem harmless at first, but those small shortcuts can create bigger problems that require far more time and money to fix. Structural repairs show why experience matters. Wood constantly reacts to changes in temperature and humidity. Dry conditions can cause cracks, while excess moisture can lead to swelling and warping. Skilled luthiers understand how different woods behave and choose the correct adhesives, because using the wrong glue can make future repairs much more difficult. The risks become even greater with vintage instruments. Take a 1962 Fender Jazz bass as an example. During the 1960s and 1970s, many owners modified their basses by installing different pickups to achieve new sounds. At the time, those changes seemed perfectly reasonable. Years later, as vintage basses became highly collectible, originality became one of the biggest factors affecting their value. Modifications that once felt practical permanently reduce the appeal of many instruments to collectors, even if they improve the sound. That is why experienced restoration specialists focus on preserving original parts whenever possible. A quality repair protects more than playability. It also preserves the history, character, and long-term value of the instrument. Now at number 4, corner cutting. Not every inexpensive repair involves dishonesty, but extremely low pricing sometimes forces technicians to save time somewhere. One common shortcut is skipping diagnosis altogether. Instead of identifying the root cause, a repair shop simply replaces the most obvious component and hopes the issue disappears. Sometimes that works. Often it doesn't. Electronics provide countless examples. Vintage bass electronics consist of pickups, potentiometers, capacitors, wiring, solder joints, and the output jack. Every one of those components interacts with the others. A noisy signal doesn't automatically mean a failed potentiometer. Experienced technicians have reported that the overwhelming majority of crackling controls are caused by dirt or oxidation rather than defective components. Cleaning the control correctly may solve the problem without replacing perfectly functional parts. Another shortcut involves using lower quality replacement hardware. Inferior tuning machines may introduce tuning instability. Poor quality bridges may affect sustain and intonation. Cheap electronic components sometimes fail much sooner than reputable replacements. The customer sees a lower invoice today, but pays for another repair much sooner than expected. Community repair forums are filled with examples of failed fretless conversions, damaged neck installations, stripped screw holes, destroyed pickup wiring, and finish damage caused by aggressive sanding. Most weren't the result of malicious intent. They happened because someone underestimated how precise instrument repair actually is. Every shortcut saves minutes today while risking years of future problems. Number 5. Warning signs. Fortunately, there are warning signs that help separate trustworthy repair shops from questionable ones. The first is an unrealistically low estimate with almost no explanation. Professional technicians usually want to inspect the instrument before promising an exact price, because hidden problems often reveal themselves during diagnosis. Be cautious when someone immediately guarantees an unusually cheap repair without asking detailed questions. Written estimates also matter. A professional shop normally explains what will be repaired, which parts will be replaced, estimated labor costs, and whether any warranty accompanies the work. Transparency builds confidence. Communication is another indicator. Good technicians enjoy explaining their process because they want customers to understand what they're paying for. Vague answers, pressure to approve repairs immediately, or unwillingness to discuss options should encourage further questions. Reputation remains one of the strongest indicators of quality. Long-established repair shops build trust through consistent results, not through the lowest prices. Continuing with number 6, smart spending. The goal isn't to avoid spending money, it's to spend it wisely. There are plenty of maintenance jobs every bass owner should learn. Changing strings, cleaning the instrument, checking neck relief, adjusting strap locks, and performing basic inspections are valuable skills. A modest toolkit, costing roughly $40 to $80, can handle much of this routine maintenance for years. Learning those basics reduces repair bills while helping players recognize developing problems before they become serious. Professional work becomes worthwhile when structural integrity, fretwork, finish restoration, or complicated electronics enter the picture. Knowing where DIY ends and professional experience begins is one of the smartest financial decisions any musician can make. Sometimes the better choice isn't repairing at all. If an inexpensive beginner bass requires repairs that exceed its market value, replacement may make more financial sense. On the other hand, sentimental instruments or collectible basses often justify expensive restoration because their value extends beyond simple replacement cost. Every repair decision should consider the instrument's history, condition, rarity, and importance to its owner. And finally, at number 7, final takeaway. One lesson keeps appearing across decades of repair experience and countless conversations among bass players. Quality work lasts. A professional setup can completely transform an inexpensive instrument, making it easier to play, more comfortable, and more reliable without changing a single major component. At the same time, one poorly executed repair can permanently reduce the value of a rare vintage bass or create problems that follow the instrument for years. The cheapest repair isn't automatically the wrong choice, just as the most expensive estimate isn't automatically the best. Value comes from solving the problem correctly the first time, using appropriate parts, proper techniques, and the experience needed to recognize issues that aren't immediately visible. When viewed over the lifetime of an instrument, the true cost of a repair isn't measured by today's invoice. It's measured by how long the repair lasts, how well the bass performs afterward, and whether its condition has been preserved for the next owner, the next recording session, or the next generation of musicians. That's why experienced players often arrive at the same conclusion after years of owning instruments. The cheapest repair is rarely the one with the lowest price tag. It's the one you only have to pay for once,